Hello YouTube. Behind me here is a 05 Toyota Corolla 1.4 petrol, and it came in as a crank no start. Put up on a scan tool looking for fault codes, and I could not quickly found out that I had no communication with the scan tool. So I went out to the engine bay and I discovered I had no 12 volt feed to my mass airflow sensor, no 12 volt feed to my lambda sensor, no 12 volt feed to my injectors here, and I had no 12 volt feed back at the fuel pump under the seat. So I went through and went looking at fuses. We have fuses here at the engine bay, and we also have fuses under the passenger side airbag, say top of the dash. No fuses gone. Then I went looking at main relays. Main relay lives in here. That was good, and it had everything it needed to work. And also a fuel pump relay, which is up in the fuse box up here. That was good and had everything needed to work as well. Then I went for my ECU, which again lives glove box out, get to the engine ECU that way. It kind of got a little bit messy in there because wiring diagrams I didn't have, and then I got access to, I got sent them, but they weren't really matching up with pin data, and I got a little bit tricky there. But anyway, what I quickly discovered was that I had powers and grounds to my ECU, but yet no communication. So at that point I called the ECU and I removed it, and I went a little step further. So while it was out, this is the ECU. I took all the covers off it, and you can see how bad that ECU is fried. That ECU is so condemned ECU, and now I needed one. Right, so I needed an ECU kit, and with the kit came the ECU, the clocks, pickup and key, and also the fuse box under the dash. Now what I used out of the kit was, this is the old key, and what's important here is that I took it apart now, this key. What's important here is this little pickup, this little chip in the key. So I removed both keys and I swapped over the chips only. So the blade of the key stayed the same, so it'll open all the locks, it'll turn the ignition, but the chip from the new key is now in the old key. That's the only thing. The ECU has been changed as well, and I did change the pickup ring and the clocks. Now I'm not too sure if the pickup ring is really needed, but I did change it. But I didn't need this lad, which did come from the breaker's yard from the other one, which lives, as I said, they are up there in the dash, so that part of the dash will come off, and that looks like it could spend a bit of time in changing that, but I didn't change it, and the car doesn't need it changed for the ECU to work. So this is just a little heads up on what is needed from another car in the event that you're changing over an ECU. So I changed the ECU, the chip in the key, the pickup ring I changed, and I replaced the clocks. So the crank no start was down to the ECU being at fault and it's already, all this is already done now already. And I'll have a crank and start. And the scan tool now is talking to the Corolla and everything is good. So this is just a little run through of what I've done on this Toyota Corolla. It's a quick video and it might help someone along the line if they're trying to replace an ECU kit. So again, it's the ECU, the chip in the key, the clocks, and maybe I did anyway, the pickup ring around the ignition switch to pick up that little chip in that key. Alright lads, thanks for watching this. Again, hope it helps someone, and yeah, cool, I'll see you in the next video. So yeah, looks just sorry there lads, I said when I checked the relays they had everything they needed to work. Well, they didn't really, but because they were short control, and that control was coming from or should have been coming from the ECU, which was not the case because the ECU was fried. So the relays didn't have everything they needed to work. They were just short control from the ECU. So the main relay and the fuel pump relay were not being controlled by the ECU. So yeah, again, that's where I was with that one. So yeah, just to clear that up.